Hi everyone, this is Anna from HotOptionBabe.com. On this chart here, I have a chart of crude oil, and I want to go over with you. I know everybody's interested in crude right now with what's going on in the Middle East, and I do trade it quite a bit, and I intraday trade it as well as long-term trade it or swing trade it. Now this is a 60-minute chart I have up on the screen, and you can see that we had a high last week of 103.41. Wow, we were long up into that. Okay, and still long. This was our low. Look at this. It was just back in February, middle of February, and it's gone up. Had a $20 swing in less than 2 weeks. Now I did come back in about $8 to around 90, 95, and change. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at where we might be going. Now, what I like to use is the moving averages. When the shorter moving averages crosses the longer moving averages on the upside, it's bullish. And when it crosses on the downside, it's bearish or for that move. And you can do that with on a 60-minute, on a daily, on a whatever chart you want to use it on. If you go back, most all the time, that always seems to work out. So here we go on the 60, and you see the 10 beginning to almost cross this 30. I'm trying to zoom it in so you can see it, and you get an idea of what I'm talking about. And then you can go back and back test this study, the 10 and the 30, or the 10 and the 50, the 20 and the 50. Some people use. I use the 10 and the 30. And there you can see the 10's just about to cross the 30 on the way up. If you go down to your stochastics, firmly pointing up here on the 60, and you also have buy signal on the histogram. You had a bottom here where you can line up with that candle. There was a lot of volume on that candle, by the way, which shows signs of the most of the sellers getting out. So here we go. You can see this bullish divergence, and you can see these are my Fibonacci fans, which I use religiously, and my pivots, which I also use. I think probably we're going to see much higher prices next week, and you can see that we're just hanging on this support line right here for right now. But the next level up is going to be around, back to around 103. So let's look at this daily on crude. Look at that oscillator. Look at this oscillator. I mean, it's very powerful. Very powerful. Excuse me. And here we go. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger because I like to be able to see what I'm doing. And I'm going to remove these fans, and I'm going to draw some new ones for you. Okay. Now this is on the daily. And where's my high-low bubble at? Let's see if we can find that. There you go. 67.15. Here's your fan tool. And you just take the low of 67.15. Whoops. I'm going to have to edit that because I didn't catch it right. 103.41. 103.41. Now all I do is right click on any one of the fans, edit properties to get the perfect numbers. 67.15. And don't forget there's a webinar a week from today, this Sunday, March 6th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a free options webinar, and I'll also go over some technical analysis with you. It'll be about 30 to 45 minutes long. Maybe it just depends on how many questions and how much information folks want. And if there's enough interest, I'll continue them and get into more complex and deeper strategies and continue the free webinars. Okay, we don't want it hidden. We got 67.15, 103.40. I think it was 1, so we'll make that perfect. And take that off. We don't need that. I've got a few of them hidden. Press OK, and there you go. There's your fans. And you can see, again, this blue, I believe that's where we're at. I'm trying to see here. Oops, sorry, wrong. We are Right, we came right up to here, and that's our resistance now, that 103.41. Should we go above that, all bets are off. But the stochastic is coming down here just a little bit. But as we know, just like in the stock market, you can bounce along the top. You can come down, go back up. You can go. So there, when people say, well, why don't you just buy when it's oversold extremely or overbought? Sell when it's overbought, and it just doesn't always work out that way. With technical analysis, you take everything that you possibly can use. You try to keep it simple. For me, it's moving averages, support and resistance, and histograms. Okay, the stochastic is just a little extra added tool, but even with all the technical analysis in the world, it doesn't mean you're always going to be right. You take the best educated guess that you possibly can, and you go with that. And I'll go over another chart with you in a minute on Apache, where I had the folks in the private lounge go long around 120, and I saw the chart. I put everything together, and I said, let's go long, guys, and we all went long, and I think it closed at 103.50 or something in a couple of days, or it might have been a day. It was a great trade, and everybody did really well. Also did one on Amazon for some of the folks in the room on Friday. So it's great to be in the lounge. You get a lot more. You get day by day. I'm on audio, video, teaching you technical analysis for $89 a month. I'm giving any trade you want to look at, whether it's crude oil, whether it's a stock, whether I could do bonds. I can do forex. So all you have to do is say, and let me know what Google looks like right now. And so we'll take a look and we'll dissect Google and come up with a possible trade. I'll even find a decent trade for you. And you can do equities. You can pick how you want to play the actual movement of the underlying stock, whether it's with options or whether you just want to go with the stock itself. And I have a lot of experience in crude oil and gold. So we do GLD a lot, which is the ETF for the gold futures. And as a matter of fact, let's go look at gold and see what we got going on here. Way over here a little bit. Now this is the daily. And we had that correction. Remember, I had that head and shoulder way back in I don't know if it was December, I believe, where I drew that head. And I drew that a long time ago. And you can see on the diagram that worked out perfectly. I drew that head and shoulder, and we had this big down move. I actually drew this, and it was still, the actual gold was here, and it actually came down. And we had a correction down to around 13.11. That's where we started getting long in the lounge. 13.11. I think we actually hit 13.09, but we got started getting long around 13.11, and we've been going in and out since then, and been very successful on the bullish side. As you can see, just look at the chart. It tells you everything. Charts do not lie. People lie, but charts don't. Okay, they can give you head fakes, so they might be, they maybe like to tease you a little bit. Now you can see the oscillator, very strong. It's showing a little bit of weakness here on the daily. Doesn't mean it can't zip right back up, but see, if you compare this, it's a pretty strong oscillator. I mean, it's still in buy mode. It's still in buy mode. There's also what appears to be setting up a W pattern. Okay, it was an M pattern, which is bearish. Now it has a W pattern to the candlesticks, which normally is bullish. So let's take a look at the 60. I normally intraday, I look at the 15, the 5, the 15, and the 60. If I'm showing you these for longer term, I try to show you the daily so you get an idea of true direction. You can see right here, I drew this back, I don't remember when I drew this, but back on the 21st, obviously around the 21st, and that's where we got back in long. If you line this up and you go up here, look and see, you had a nice up move. Okay, when that oscillator started to roll, you had some weakness. So we were buying support levels and selling at resistance levels. Now I'm just going to tell you, we're still long gold for right now. and been long. I think we got back in this week again. Well, we go in and out of it, which is, if you have liquidity, is a great way to do it. You know, not just ride something all the time. Right now, we're at 1409.30. I suspect my target is 1420, 1421. So that would be about right here. Excuse me. You see, you still got this buy signal out here in the histogram. Stochastic still pointing up. Now I'm going to go over Apache real quick and show you where we went in. And let me pull this up. Get my little auto scale back here. There you go. And what I have drawn here is the Fibonacci retracement levels. I use those as well a lot. I use support and resistance levels most of the time as my exits and entries. They will not fail you most of the time. I would say about 95% of the time, along with your moving averages. You got a real good shot of being successful. Now, where we got long was right around 120, right in here, okay? But it was actually this day. I think, what day was it? It was Thursday, I believe, whatever. It was in here somewhere. Okay, right in here somewhere, because it was at 120.57. I said, you know, everything's lining up. The oscillator's getting stronger because I saw the crossover to the bullish side. And wow, look where it closed. 123.53 from 120.50 areas where we got in. So an excellent. Now, some people did calls. I did a bull call spread, and I'm actually still in it. Now, looking at the 60, it could come back down, pull back here a little bit. My target for Apache is around 127, right there. Short term. That's my short term target on Apache. You got a little bit of bearish, slanting, you know, divergence, but that's not really too much. I mean, I suspect we'll see a little bit of a pullback, but I'm not looking for, I wouldn't be bearish on the trade, in other words. The daily, look at the daily. Daily's very strong. Moving up, the stochastics, and you have your W pattern. See, when you have your W, it looks like a W and goes up. So I'm going to hit Amazon real quick because I had everyone go short that on Friday that wanted to. And that worked out real well for us. Now you can see the opposite here. Look at this. You got the oscillator in sell territory. Your stochastics are pointing down. It hit that. I might have had a double top on it. I have to go back and check. But when it was up Friday afternoon, I had them, I think it was around 170. I'll say 170, over 178. And so I had them go short on that. On whether it's a short-term trade. Well, let's take a look at the 60. I like it as a longer-term bearish trade. Actually, it even has like, whoops, where'd it go? Lost my chart. There you go. I even saw, look at this little bit of a head and shoulder pattern here. Okay, so yeah, we could get a bounce, but the histogram looking really bearish. Thinking Amazon's got some more downside to go. I have a target of 170.50. First, though, we're going to get through this 175.98. And don't forget about the webinar. Next Sunday is free, and I'm going to send out emails. So all you have to do is click on the link. You'll be able to join in, and we'll go over the basics on how to even just buy. A lot of people aren't even sure about how to do spreads at all. But we're going to go through the basics, the implied volatility, the probability of expiration, the delta, the open interest, and the theta, which is not on here right now, but the theta. You know, when anything's over 30% implied volatility, I sell the option more than I buy it. So you want to buy low volatility, sell high volatility. Same as if you're doing the stock market. You want to buy low and sell high. Whether you're short selling at highs or you're buying low and you're going long. So it works the same way with implied volatility. But there is a lot of moving parts and options, and I know it's confusing. I've done them for 14 years. I've got lots of education behind me. I've done many of these. I've done singles, I've done verticals, I've done ratio back spreads, calendars, diagonals, straddles, strangles, covered stock. I've done collars, butterflies, condors, iron condors. I have not done a vertical roll, which, I mean, you can do any kind of stuff. So you can do, a collar is stock with with options. So you're actually collaring your stock. So hopefully you guys will come and join the free webinar, or come and join the lounge. And we had an amazing week last week, and hopefully we're going to continue that for quite some time, through forever, if I can help it. And thank you all, and have a really great week. And here's wishing you all the very best.